So one of the most important things to do is to ground when you're in your yoga class with your baby. And by that, we like to ground by sitting down nice and tall. We have two bones that we sit on, the sits bones, and the more we press into those sits bones, the more we lift up. It's really difficult to love your baby without having this kind of posture. You want to hug them, you want to hold them, you want to get near them. So we come in here and just sort of unravel all of that tightness in the upper body. We also like to pay attention to our breath and pay attention also to your baby's breath. So we start off with our hand on our tummy and your hand on your baby's tummy. And this is such a bonding experience. Even with my doll, I get pretty close to her. So inhaling and exhaling, just listening to where you're at, and then just coming down. And if this were a real baby, the baby would be talking back. We'd be connecting right now, and just sort of letting your baby know, hey, this is what we're doing. We're going to do some yoga right now. And that's how we start. So we like to just be in that space of breathing and gathering where you are, no matter what kind of morning you've had before you got to class. Next, I like to take the hand, the heel of the hand, and just very gently circle on their tummy. And you go in a clockwise direction. That really helps them with their digestive system. And just do that for a little while, again, talking to them. And we go through their body with them, which helps them with their body awareness and helps you to connect with all the different parts that your baby is growing every day. We go to the feet and we circle, we point and flex. There are a lot of different options that we can do. We go from one to the other. Sometimes you massage up the legs. We get to the hands, the arms, and then we really start helping them to move. We open up their arms, we close, we gently rock them side to side, and all this while you are really enjoying seeing your baby move and discover. Sometimes they're a little tight, so you'll only go this far, and you just encourage them to go as far as they can. We never ever force them into different postures that they can't handle. Their legs, really helpful to bring the knees to the chest, bring it back, and now I'm getting a little bit too. I'm bringing in some movement in my upper body, keeping my chest lifted, right? Keeping track of my breath. And we open up their hips. So piece by piece, we gently move their bodies. Sometimes you'll find a fist in the mouth. That's okay. And we start to discover, ooh, it's teething time for this baby, or baby's hungry, or, sleepy. We find what their cues are. So there are different postures. You might think that maybe there's some yoga postures that they need to get into. There's nothing they need to get into. It's basically, all the different things that we can do to help open up their bodies. Okay, so we try different things like that, and then I can show you some things on hands and knees. So typically we'll bring the baby right under the mat, and we get on our hands and knees, and this is a really great movement right here, just opening up your body. It's like a nice massage. The massage you should get like every week from your husband every night. This is where you get it once a week or maybe twice a week. So circling, and they love this. They love you leaving and coming back again. And sometimes you sneak little kisses, and you do lots of little playing. Sometimes we sing, sometimes we recite rhymes. And one of my favorite transitions is opening up the shoulders and just really lengthening the body. So up, and then exhaling, coming down. One of my favorites. So we just move through, opening the body, and they think it's funny. They really do. They think it's hysterical. They start to laugh as you disappear and come back again, right? So that's some of what we can do on hands and knees. I like little toys, not to distract your baby from you, but to get their attention, to really engage them. It could be a scarf, it could be a ball, it could be a toy, it could be your fingers. So they would watch this, right? Opening up, bringing yourself safely up and down. Make sure you're going to a class and you have a teacher who's keeping an eye that you're not hurting yourself as you go in and out of these postures, right? So they would be watching these fingers and laughing and doing all kinds of funny baby things as you do this, and then you're getting your exercise too. Okay, so that's some of what we do. I'll show you one of the other postures that feels really good. Bringing one leg back. You need to use this leg under here, or maybe move it back a little bit. That's a really great chest opener, right? So opening up, and there they are looking at your fingers, right? There are some standing poses that we like to do. So you're holding your baby. Mine is very, very light, of course, so just keep that in mind. It's not going to be as easy for you to bring your baby up and down, but a nice hold is to have the hand across the chest, other hand between the diaper, spreading your knees comfortably apart, maybe a little bit wider than the mat, grounding through your feet. We come up, and then we come down, just very gently. This will get a few laughs. And you just go as fast or slow as your baby's ready to do. Sometimes we go in here and bring our arms into it. Now again, Caramel's a lot lighter than the other babies. So I have to be mindful as a teacher, and they have to be mindful of their own bodies. All right, getting breath in and out. Now any surface of your body is fair game for your baby to sit, should you wish to incorporate them into your practice. So if you come into a warrior position, right there, when they're bigger, they're a little braver, they can go out there. When they're really little, sometimes they're happiest right here, okay? And how do we entertain them? They start to cry. Well, we don't let them cry. You can change, you can switch gears, you can walk around, you can do what you normally do and just sort of build on your intuitive skills, okay? Or we can move a little bit, bring a little movement to it, okay? We also have postures on the back, which is, for me, a really great way to sneak in tummy time. We're so concerned that babies are not on their backs anymore. We want them on their tummies, but we're not supposed to put them on their tummies, so here's a trick. You're going to gently lower yourself on the floor, and your baby can sit comfortably where it feels good for you. Sometimes back here is better. Sometimes up here is better. But we can bring up our knees, and they sit, or here's the tummy time, right? Little bit of movement. This is where it sometimes gets messy and you need a little rag or maybe a change of clothes. You don't want to do this after they've just eaten. It happens. It's a very hazardous pose. We always talk about that in class. They love the side-to-side movement. And depending on where you are at in your body, right, you can bring in a couple of sit-ups. You can do both. And you have a lot of different exercises. You have a lot of different options to do this. And you just listen to their bodies. So, in the end, at the end of the practice, your baby might have had a diaper change. You might have had to stop and feed your baby. It's perfectly normal. I think the most important thing is to know that everybody goes through it. If it's not your baby, it's somebody else's baby next week. And I think that's one of the greatest parts of having a baby yoga class to attend is a community and being able to take care of yourself and be the entertainment for your child. It's really empowering for you and for them. They get you 100%. So that's it for the demo.
That was an excellent demonstration.
In the last 8 years that I've done this, I've noticed that more and more women are seeking that out, that community out. A lot of us are so excited to have our babies, and some of us try very hard. We go through all kinds of hoops to have babies, and then you're alone.
Wow.
You know,
I didn't know that's how you have babies, going through hoops, huh?
Right, you go through lots of hoops. And, you know, we used to be maybe near mom or our aunt's society, we would all be together.
Right.
Now you're on your own. You've got one parent on one side
Absolutely.
of the country. You've got no resources really besides your friends. And a lot of the times you're spending so much time working that your friendships are all at work, and then you're home and you're excited to be with your baby, but you're not meant to do this alone.
Right.
You
And the
really
baby
aren't.
senses that because you're tired, you're exhausted, you might be stressed.
Right.
What's interesting is that the way society is today, we see a lot more older couples having children. When I say older couples, I mean middle-aged. They're spending more time in school. They're starting their families actually in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there are more mature, educated population who are definitely looking for this type of.
Right. So they definitely notice. I noticed after 8 years, I have an 8 and a 5-year-old, and things change. You know, it's really exciting. The conversations we have in these classes are about hey, let's go back to cloth diapers or bottles that are made out of glass.
Right,
And
there you go.
all the things that, used to be done a certain way change so much. They change back to what they were, or all the products just change so much. It's really nice. People are using slings, they're not using slings. They want to have people to bounce those ideas around with.
Right.
They are concerned about the pacifiers and the bottles, and these are big questions that end up coming up in class, believe
Right.
it or not.
That's good.
Yeah, because
It's a nice
little
forum
village.
for everybody to communicate where they're
It is.
unable to communicate.
It is, yeah. It's really important to be able to have a place to have those conversations, because otherwise, like you said, they're home
Exactly.
and they might, you can look it up online, but to be able to talk to people really helps. I think.
Absolutely. Good. It's a terrific forum. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience or discuss before we end?
One of the main reasons that I do this is because, I must be stuck somewhere in pregnancy and baby world because I haven't graduated from that, but I really love it. I think it's really important that you take this time and really discover who you want to be as a parent, and to really trust that. A lot of the generation, a lot of what we see is people kind of getting that all the answers are not in books.
Right.
They're not in this magazine or that magazine. It's all in here, and the best piece of advice is to get out there and start
And do it,
yeah,
right.
do it. Just be the mom that you're going to be.
Exactly.
And today it's different, tomorrow it's different, but that's all
Absolutely.
you have to go with,
Right.
is to be the mother that
And there's
you
no
need to
doubt
be.
that you're passionate about what you do, and I think that brings on so much more. You're not just doing it because you have to or for financial reasons. You're doing it because you really love it, and that is really helping other people.
I'm on a mission.
There you go. That's a great mission. All right. So this has been the CPR Dave Show. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.